Hi Virgo, welcome to your love reading for April 2020. Let's see what is going on with you. This is a love reading for the sign of Virgo for April. You've got the Tower as your first card. King of Pentacles. Four of Wands. Strength. Seven of Pentacles. You've got the Five of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for April. Seven of Cups. Page of Cups. And the hang one, which is the Hangman. Okay, so let's stop here. And when I was shuffling the deck, there were a lot of cards that were jumping out, kind of letting me know that someone is in complete denial. There's something that you don't want to see. So I just wanted to mention that before I get into the reading. Also, if you would like a private reading with me, just go to my website, channeledguidance.com, and I'll put a link down below. So starting right here, the very first row, we have your energy. In this deck, they call it the King of Rings, but this is the King of Pentacles, your energy. So some of you, let's see what you have going on here. Yeah, you have the Five of Swords here. I definitely feel for the sign of Virgo, you have to be careful with decisions because you do have the Seven of Pentacles, which is a card of decisions. And then you have this right next to this Five of Swords. So, that is an eye-opener because the Five of Swords is a card of very bad, very unwise decisions that will come back to haunt you. So I feel like if you're in the middle of a decision, whether maybe you're thinking of leaving a relationship or entering a relationship, be careful because here I see you making decisions and there's possibly a decision that could backfire on you. So I feel like you need to take your time. For some of you, because you have your energy is here and you do have it with the Four of Wands, which is this is a relationship, this is commitment. But look at the depiction in this deck. This is kind of totally the wrong depiction for the Four of Wands. We see these flowers that are kind of wilting and dead. So some of you might kind of be sticking around a relationship where you know you don't belong there anymore. But ultimately, the Four of Wands is a card of commitment, long-term relationships and marriage. For some of you, it can be that something has unexpectedly changed. You have the Tower. Perhaps some of you are thinking of leaving a relationship, or you've met somebody new where you feel like this person is the one. There's kind of like this surprise energy around you. You are the King of Pentacles, whether you're male or female, and a relationship, like something has surprised you. There's a very unexpected change around a relationship. And I feel like somebody is making a decision here with the Seven of Rings, which is the Seven of Pentacles. Someone is making a decision. And this card does mean that you have to be careful. You can't just make any decision, especially with this card right next to it. If you make just kind of any decision, this card is telling you that the decision you make is going to come back to haunt you. You're going to wish you could just turn back the clock and just kind of erase what you did. You also have the Strength card telling you to be brave, be strong. This is a card of kind of smashing your ego. Don't let your ego get the best of you, especially if you're making a decision. This can also represent the sign of Leo. Now, I'll hold up these bottom cards. I'm just going to show you here what you have going on. You've got the Seven of Cups, the Page of Cups, and the Hanged one. They call him this deck, but this is the Hangman. So there's an energy here of being stuck, being in limbo. I feel like the sign of Virgo, like you're trying to make a decision about a relationship or marriage, where you might kind of feel like you're in limbo until you make a decision because you've got very emotional energy here. You've got the Seven of Cups. There is confusion. There's a lot of confusion around a relationship. Something seems stuck. This is being overwhelmed emotionally, completely lost. And there's a relationship here, or there's communication. Somebody is not saying how they're feeling. The Page of Cups represents communicating from the heart, somebody expressing their love. But there is confusion. Perhaps you don't know how you feel about someone. You're in limbo. You don't know where a relationship is going. I feel like the sign of Virgo is making a decision about relationships in the month of April. That's what I see here, especially up here. But I feel like you have to be careful. I feel like there could be a decision that you might make, whether, again, it's a general reading, so it's impossible for me to say, but again, if you're making a decision, I feel like you definitely have to take your time, and you can't make a decision based on fears, based on your ego, or this is something that you could look back on and regret. Let me get 3 more for you. What other messages are there for the sign of Virgo for April? You've got, look at this, you've got the Devil. Let's see what else. 4 of Swords. Yeah, there's something very strange here. And the 6 of Cups. So some of you, this can be perhaps a decision to reconcile with someone from the past, to give someone a second chance. I mean, not for everybody, but some of you could also just be doing a lot of thinking about the past. I feel like if you're, focusing a lot on the past, things that have happened, it's just going to create a lot of confusion for you. A lot of emotional energy with the 7 of Cups here. I mean, you also have the Devil. I mean, the Devil can represent the sign of Capricorn. But I feel that for the sign of Virgo, you have to be careful. Because, I mean, I definitely see decisions around you. And, like, kind of there's surprising energy, unexpected energy around a relationship. But I feel like there could be a lot of negativity. Make sure that you're not committing yourself to a very kind of negative person. Perhaps what you need is kind of a timeout here. You have the 4 of Swords. The 4 of Swords can represent kind of taking a step back from a relationship. I mean, because you've got the Devil, the 4 of Swords, and the 6 of Cups. For some of you, you can be maybe kind of revisiting the past, or there's an ex who wants you back. I feel like you may need some time to make a decision about this with the 4 of Swords. You need time to think about this. Because, I mean, with the Devil and the 6 of Cups, there could be perhaps an ex where you were in a very negative relationship, a toxic relationship, where, your ex is wanting to revisit this relationship. I feel like if you do that, you do have kind of stuck energy from the Hangman. But for others, I just feel like the past is just going to bring up a lot of negativity. It can be that maybe you're seeing an ex or you're talking to an ex where I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like there's a chance for Virgo to kind of revisit the past. But I feel like this is just going to bring a lot of emotional energy into your life. Okay, let me get a few more. Kind of a strange message, but I mean, that is what the cards are saying. Let me get some from the confirmation deck. Yeah, I mean, look at this. The 9 of Swords. King of Swords. And the 3 of Cups. So, I mean, you have an air sign here. Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Male or female, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Although definitely with the 9 of Swords here, especially for the sign of Virgo, you might really be overthinking a relationship or a marriage. You might really kind of be, analyzing, do I really belong with this person? Perhaps that is a decision that we're seeing here. I do see a lot of happiness here, a lot of good times with the 3 of Cups. This is a lot of fun, going out. This can also be, a happy family. But I see a lot of anxiety here, a lot of worrying, a lot of angst. Maybe you're wondering if you really belong together. But I feel, just kind of looking at all these cards, now that I've pulled them all, Virgo is dealing with some type of decision in the month of April, here and here, where you have to be careful. 4 of Swords, 5 of Swords. I feel like there is, an abrupt change in the relationship. I also feel like some of you might be kind of considering kind of revisiting the past. I feel like you have to be careful. Let's go ahead and move on to the experts so we can get more clarity on this. Okay, Virgo, let's go ahead and see what's going on between you and your ex for the month of April. Virgo and their ex for April 2020. 6 of Wands. Page of Wands. Knight of Pentacles. 10 of Wands. Strength. 4 of Cups. King of Cups. 5 of Wands. And 2 of Swords. So I'm just going to put that right there because, again, when we did the first spread, I told you there's kind of an energy there of decisions for the sign of Virgo. We have to be careful around decisions because you did have the 5 of Swords, which is decisions that will eventually come back to haunt you. And now we're looking at, kind of an ex situation here. And you do have the 2 of Swords, which is, this is a very complicated decision. So some of you, I mean, I'm just kind of hold up these bottom cards for you. Some of you could be making, trying to make a decision anyway about your ex, whether you're going to get back together, because this is a very complicated decision where you really don't know what to do. You're also, you have the Five of Wands. This is being highly conflicted. Perhaps some of you want your ex back, but because of, how things ended, you really don't know if you want to go there again. It could be you or it could be your ex. Again, it's hard to say in a general reading, but there is someone who's highly conflicted here and is refusing, absolutely refusing to make a decision. You have the King of Cups, so you could be dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. This can also be you if you have a moon or rising and a water sign. Let's see what else you have going on here. Again, this spread here is only for exes, not couples. But what I see here is, there is unhappiness with the Four of Cups. I feel like one of you, as far as an ex, one is more open to getting back together than the other. The Four of Cups is someone who does not care, especially seeing a combination of the Four of Cups and the Strength. Sorry, not the Strength card. Yeah, it is here, but I meant the Ten of Wands. The Four of Cups is my card of I don't care anymore. This is someone who just feels empty, unfulfilled, and just does not care. Plus, Ten of Wands. This is just someone who's overwhelmed, just burned out, tired of trying, and again, does not want to try, doesn't care anymore, just like the Four of Cups. I feel like if you want to reconnect with your ex, you're going to have to be really brave, very patient, definitely, because there is very very slow movement here, very slow progress. Eventually, there could be victory. You have the Six of Wands as the first card. You also have the Page of Wands, so this is good news, this is change. But I feel like, there is a very difficult decision that has to be made here about your ex. And I feel like someone feels highly conflicted, maybe as far as trying again. Okay, let me get a few more. Let's get the rest of the message. Virgo and their ex for April. Oh, my goodness, the Five of Swords has come up again. The Sun. Temperance. Yeah, the Five of Swords again in both spreads. And mind you, these are two completely different decks. Again, this is a, kind of warning. The Five of Swords, to me, this is negative energy. This is like the devil. And this is telling you that, you have a decision to make here and you have to choose wisely. You do have this with a very positive card with the Sun. This represents optimism, positive energy, success. For some of you, it could be that you can't just jump into a reunion with your ex. This is a card of being patient. This can also represent the sign of Sagittarius. This is not pushing anything to the extremes, letting things fall into place naturally. But there's also sabotage here. It could be that, kind of maybe putting your ex on the spot could backfire on you. There's a lot of positive energy here, but now you have two fives, Five of Swords and Five of Wands. The fives represent an obstacle, a challenge, a problem. Something is working against you and your ex. Something is working against you reconciling. There's also somebody here does not care. That's what I see here with the Four of Cups. Someone does not care. Someone is tired of trying. I feel like you're going to have to be patient as far as somebody coming around. Okay, let me get a few more from the confirmation deck. What else does Virgo need to hear about their ex for the month of April? My goodness, yeah, look at this. The Four of Cups 2 times. The Moon. Yep, Eight of Swords. Yeah, I feel like you have to be careful. If you want to reconcile with your ex, I feel like you definitely have to be sure this person is on the same page as you. Someone does not care here anymore. I hate to say that in a reading, but I always pull my cards live, and I'm not going to lie to you. The Four of Cups 2 times. This is kind of a repeat message of someone who is just so unhappy that they just don't really see what you're offering them. They don't care. There is someone who is highly, highly emotional right now with this Moon card. This also represents a sign of Pisces, but this is someone who is, very confused, very lost. This is someone that is perhaps even in denial, someone who is stuck. I don't know. I just feel like someone has a lot going on here for the sign of Virgo. Very confusing reading. So I feel like you have to be careful if you're going to revisit the past. You do have the Sun here telling me that there is, success as far as maybe reconciling with your ex in time. I feel like you have to be patient. So you've got Temperance, but you also have the Strength card telling you to be patient. I feel perhaps for some of you, that could be why the Five of Swords has come up 2 times. Trying to push anything to the extreme could be a very unwise decision. But also feel like, again, make sure that this person is on the same page as you. Four of Cups 2 times. Someone is just not as emotionally invested as the other person. I feel like someone does not care. And for some of you, it could be that you don't want to see this with the moon. Remember, that was something I told you at the beginning of the reading. When I was shuffling, cards kept jumping, telling me that there's something you don't want to see, something that you're in denial about. Okay, Virgo, this has been your love reading for April 2020. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you again next month.